All right.
Okay.
Cheryl, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are
I'm
you?
doing great. We are so excited to have you this morning. We always love to bring in some of our top producing agents at the
Definitely.
brokerage just to hear what they're doing to be successful in this market. And so, thank you so much for taking the time and driving all the way across town from Goodyear to join us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
All right, so let's jump into it. So, as I said, we ask our top producers, what are your five secrets or five tips to success? And let's talk about the first one. And I love this one
Me
because
too.
you ridiculous consistency. What does that mean to you? And how does that not only benefit your business in your pipeline and your bottom line, but also benefit your clients?
Well, here's the thing I am my own business. And so if I'm not on top of things and I'm not top of mind, like you were just saying, people are going to forget about us, right? So my concept of consistency isn't the average consistency of, oh, I made a post once a week or I'm going to do this once a week. It is over and above consistency with putting out as much content as possible, being in my stories, being engaged, knowing what's going on in my clients' lives, commenting on their posts and stories and everything that they're putting. Obviously, a lot of my business is on social media, but also taking that off social media, texting them. If I see something they post online, I'm going to take it to a text and send a more personalized message to them. Specifically, if they're my clients, I have that relationship with them where I can do that, and I see it as an opportunity to keep building that relationship and connection there. But I don't think I've missed a day in my stories on social media in probably 7 years. Well, stories weren't a thing back then, but post I was
Yeah.
posting every day before that. It was, post every single day. So I just that has been my main driver of my business. And so I just never neglect it. I just don't take a day off. That's just my mindset. Now, mental health wise, obviously, I want you to be smart about that. But there's ways you can post on social media when you're lying in bed, and you can post, a model home you toured the other day. You can always do. You doesn't have to necessarily. I know it's Instagram. It's supposed to be instant, but it's not anymore, right? Let's be real. So, I don't think anyone will ever say, "Oh, is she still a realtor?" Like that. I never want that question to pop up when people are thinking of me.
So, I mean, the age old question that we get from agents all the time when it comes down to social media is the balance between personal posts and business posts. And do you follow some sort of equation that way? Because agents feel that fear that I just don't want to come off all business trying to get your business all the time, that I need to bring that personal element into my social media presence.
Absolutely. When I first started doing social media business, I would say you want to probably do 4 out of every 5 as personal, which that's a lot of content you've got to create then, right? But once you get into the habit of doing it, everything becomes content. I mean, I'm sitting here filming this so that I could post about this later. I filmed the room when I got here. I filmed the office when I got here. Just your mindset of everything becomes
So we
content.
have actual proof of Nick's awkward stare. I
Yes.
can't. We need to get into that and zoom in on that.
Not
Perfect.
on the not
I
on
thought
the
that's when you
not
touch
on the
him.
questions, but a quick question is: so you said you took a photo of the building or a video, and then you took a video in here. What are you using to connect to merge all that together? What service? Like you tie your
Is there
like is that the
like
right
a
question?
video
Yeah, like a
editing
video
or?
editing. Yeah, good point.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. So
Sorry.
Instagram is fabulous because they allow you to essentially they want to keep you on the app. So they have a lot of options in there for editing and creating things in the app. If you go in to make a reel, you essentially have an editing studio in the app making a reel. So you could make the reel and then save that and post it as a story or a video or as a post or post a reel. There's a lot of options you can do in there. So I do use other apps outside of that just to kind of take it to the next level. But for someone starting out, the apps make it very user friendly if you dive into it. And there's tons of videos on YouTube that'll train you on that. Where I just go in there, I throw a filter on it. I'm either doing a boomerang or, a slow story. I'm adding a song to it. I'm tagging West USA, hoping they repost it in their story. Now I'm growing my network with possible other agents, who might need a referral in the West Valley. So it's just really using the tools that social media gives us and it's free still,
Yeah.
to the max extent that we can. So if I'm awake, then I'm an entrepreneur and I'm running a business. So everything is content all the time.
So, and we could apply this to, canvassing a neighborhood. I think the trap that a lot of agents fall into, and what I love about social media, it's free. If I'm going to canvass a neighborhood, it's not free.
100%.
And Todd, as you know, agents will select a neighborhood. I'm going to be sending out postcards, and we expect this instant gratification, this instant, hey, I just sent out 1,000 postcards and I haven't received 3 calls yet, so therefore this doesn't work. Or I've started consistently posting on social media for X amount of time and I haven't gotten any hits yet. And it flat out just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheryl, what would you say to agents who are maybe struggling with the consistency, or how much time do they give it? And then how much time, and I don't know whether you know the answer to the question, but how much time has to elapse where I wake up and go, okay, maybe it is my posts. It's not necessarily that I'm using social
Self-reflection.
media. It's just I'm not connecting. Something's not connecting. I might need to go back and reassess my messaging.
Sure. Well, to that point, if you're posting and taking massive action and putting posts every single day on social media, people are going to notice you, whether they like it or not. You're going to get very consistent and they're going to see your face out there. And what you're going to do is you're going to attract the people who are like you. So whatever you're posting, you're attracting that. And if you're getting really weird comments or weird DMs and weird things, that's a reflection of what you're posting because that's the audience you're reaching. So that's where I would take a shift of, hey, I'm getting, maybe I'm getting a lot of agents messaging me, but I'm trying to get clients. So my posts are being more directed towards agents. I need to shift it to my actual buyers and sellers. And you kind of navigate from that. But I would honestly say if anyone is starting out or hasn't really gotten very successful with their social media, it's just you've got to just go 120%, make the posts, put them out there, go for 3 to 6 months, and then you can start evaluating, okay, I've been doing this for quite a while, 3 months, 6 months of everyday posting. That's hundreds of pieces of content you've put out there. Now you can start evaluating it. I'm sure there's much more efficient ways to do it, but I think the biggest hurdle people face is starting and actually doing it. That's
Yeah, and for me, I hate these conversations with agents like you because I'm just not that consistent at this. But I've been toying with this concept of I've got two teenage sons that know Instagram like the back of their hand, and maybe allotting some of my marketing budget to just send them all the stuff and say, just do it for me because they know how to edit, they know how to do all of the stuff. I don't.
Yeah, I would absolutely take them on and bring them in and have them start doing all your content for you, editing, whatever is not your strong suit, sure, delegate to someone else.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Over deliver, bigger and better than anyone else. Absolutely love this because we just, I mean, I think it's just one of the biggest challenges for us as agents as a whole of just doing the bare minimum of just getting to the finish line. So when you say over deliver, what does that mean in your business?
Well, let's see. For the last couple years, realtors didn't have to do much. Let's be honest. You put a sign in the yard, and that thing was sold in two
Yeah.
seconds. So I think that really set a standard of not having to do very much in our industry, unfortunately. And this past year and a half, I would say, when the tide goes out, you see who's swimming without trunks on, right? You see who hasn't put in the effort, who doesn't know
I
what
like
to
that.
do. And so I spent a lot of time focusing on what needs to be done to sell a home because before you could just put a sign up and it was sold. So I think when I go to like listing appointments, I present so much stuff that I'm going to do for their listing that I want it to be where any other agent they sit down with just doesn't compare because most agents are just gonna, I'm gonna hire a professional photographer, I'm gonna put it in the MLS, host an open house, kind of call it a day. Where I offer staging services. I was certified for home staging, so I offer that with my listings. We do twilight, no matter what I do twilight on the home because it just makes the home pop and stand out so much more. I do a listing video. Now I've really implemented this video strategy of lifestyle videos where it's the lifestyle of the community and then we zoom in onto the actual listing so people who are looking from other states can see, oh, okay, this isn't just a house somewhere in the West Valley that I've never heard of. This has a golf course or it's next to spring training. And so I actually focus on those things and bring it back to the listing. So now this is
But
going
that
to be
sounds like it takes time.
yes. Well, that's the thing. It's you listen, we get paid very well and we should really work hard to earn our money in this industry and set a standard that we are earning our income, you know? So I do just anything I can do. I think of what's the next level of that? What can I do better? How can I make that better than the next agent? How can I stand out? What can I do different? I look at other industries and what they're doing for marketing on social media. I look at, different influencers and just, I think outside of the box big time. I think creativity is a lost art and a broken muscle, and we really need to start flexing it more. And when you get around creative people, get those juices flowing. And that has really been helped us to be able to make these videos that, get 10,000 views, 20,000 views because they are so creative. So, I like to sort of under promise. Obviously, I like to tell them what I like to do, but then I want to come out swinging and really hit some grand slams with what I'm doing for my clients.
What about for buyers? How do you over deliver for buyers?
So on the buyer side, I meet them. I bring a bag that says they're house shopping with me. Inside that bag, they've got snacks for us as we're touring. There's my daughter showed me this really fun, trendy hand sanitizer moisturizer. Now I'm not a huge sanitizer person, but it's very trendy. So I put that in there. I put snacks, mints. I usually get the Sedona bottled water because that is the best water we have out here. It's so delicious. Put that in there. I have my buyer guide in there, a buyer checklist in there. So we usually meet at a coffee shop and going over all of this, talking about the whole experience, really just breaking everything down. Then we're going and touring, and they've got this bag that goes with them. And I'm really just showing them that a buyer's agent is almost, we're like hosting them, right? And so really giving them that experience of all that. And then obviously throughout the buying process, I have videos that my I have a I have a client concierge, so she sends these videos throughout the process of what to expect. Like, hey, we just got through inspection period, and now we're into this period, and this is what it looks like. And so they're getting this we call it the white glove experience throughout the entire buying process, to where they don't feel lost. Because we know what's happening on our end, but it's sometimes we forget to over communicate that with our clients so that they feel like they're in the loop every step of the transaction.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So I did an inspection last week, and I know when we left the inspection, I explained to my clients, we explained our negotiating strategy and when we're going to submit the bids and so forth. I said, but when you get that inspection report, I need you to go through and make a list of the things that we want to ask the seller to repair, because at the end of the day, we're going after cash. But I need a list of things that are important to you. And so I text them this morning, say, "Hey, how's that list coming?" And they're like, "What list?" so maybe having a little video reminder would have been helpful.
That's the great thing about it, is that now it's in a video where I can refer to that and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, oops, you forgot. No problem. Check that video again." It explains it again. And not only does it cover us on our side, because it's a lot to remember. Did I tell this client? Did I tell that? So when you have it all out there and done, it's like checks that off your list. Your brain can kind of focus on other things.
All right, and I think the lesson for all of us as agents is, I mean, obviously, Cheryl, you got some great ideas, but I think it's important for all of us just to sit down and I'm a whiteboard guy, but however you like to brainstorm and even talk with other agents and say, okay, this is what I do. What are some out there things that I could do to over deliver, whether it's working with buyers or working with sellers, and start putting together that strategy? Great,
Yes.
great stuff. All right, I can already sense this.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer for her.
But obsessively care about people. We do, we do get caught up in commissions, especially when we are new to the industry. Maybe we've left another industry, and that commission is the game changer to putting food on the table. But sometimes then that kind of drives. I don't. Maybe motivations is too strong of a word, but it does drive some of our actions and some of our discussions. But at the end of the day, I think being a real estate agent, it's a long haul.
Yes.
It's a long race, and relationships are what get you to the finish line.
Absolutely. I see it as a marathon, and this is the long term career that I want to have for the rest of my life till I die. um, and so I see that as,
I know a great
put,
class for you
I
next
know,
Monday.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking I need to go to that class but I love working, so I can work
You know
until
what
I'm
it
not
is?
able
You know what
to.
it is? It's not a matter of, I probably will work till I die because I love it. The question is, do I have to?
Yes.
And I want to work until I say
Yes.
it's time to go.
Yeah, remember Kiyosaki's principle from the four quadrants, which was, what is wealth? And he determined wealth to be, if I can stop working today and still be able to live the current lifestyle that I have without working, adding any new principle, but just live off the equity and the assets and the interest income, then that's the true definition of wealth. So, yeah, I
Well,
agree,
thanks for
Mike. You
being a
don't have
downer,
to stop.
Todd. Thank you.
No, that's the goal.
No,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
you
the
don't have to
goal.
stop. That's kind of the fun
Yeah,
thing about
yeah.
it. And we all know when you stop, your brain slows down, and then it slows everything else down.
So, what would your client say about you?
Gosh, well, I would say 99% of my clients are my great friends. I'm hosting a Friendsgiving this weekend we'll probably have about 60 to 80 people there, I'm guessing, and tons of people that are going to be out of town that are just totally upset. I totally planned it on a holiday weekend, which I should not have done, but lesson learned. They oftentimes become family to me because I genuinely treat each transaction as if it was someone in my family and really take care of them. Now, obviously, it's still business, and we get to the finish line business, but after the fact, this is a huge transaction for them, and there's a lot of emotions that come with that for most buyers and sellers. And they let you in on a lot of things, and we just become really close. And I think doing the work behind the scenes on yourself for your own mental health and your own growth and getting to a place where you can be a good friend to other people, not just business wise. Most people are concerned about themselves and are very selfish. It's just, I think, natural for us. But if you can get to a place where you've healed a lot of inner things, you can go out there and present yourself to be a giver.
But doing the transaction is not necessarily building great relationships. I can take you from A to Z, from here's your MLS portal, go show homes, negotiate the contract, here are the keys, and still not have built a relationship. So there's just got to be some other element to what you're doing during that escrow
Yeah.
period of building those friendships.
I would say that is on how you are as a friend in general. Like I'm going to be asking a lot more questions. I'm going to go deeper with people. I'm learning, their habits, their tendencies, about their families, what's their pain points. There's so many things you can learn from your clients throughout versus just keeping it so business. Because like you said, you want to know what is their tipping point? What is their pain point? Why are they moving? They want to be closer to their grandchildren. Why? They've missed these things. They feel like life's so short, they're going to miss out on that. You start learning about your clients and actually caring about them instead of it just being a business transaction. You get to know them, and then you just be a good friend back to them. I don't know if I could teach someone how to be a good friend, but I think being there for them and above and beyond. Like I had a client reach out to me the other day. She said, "I saw your orange truck driving by. Can you go pick up this couch that I just wanted to buy? I saw you were in the neighborhood." And so I go and I pick up this patio furniture that she got from someone else. I went and took some open house boxes, and then I went back and dropped them off at her house. Things like that, where it's just, what would you want as a friend to do for you, right? And so I do that for my clients. I've towed golf carts. I mean, it's endless the amount of things that I've done with and for my
Well,
clients.
apparently you're a better friend than I am. This is why I don't even buy a truck. All right, so do real estate. So what does it mean to you? Because this is
You like
right.
that statement?
I love it.
Do real
But this
estate.
is right up our alley because we know that if we went on the Department of Real Estate's website, downloaded our real estate license, it says salesperson, real estate salesperson.
Yeah.
But really, at the end of the day, we're real estate entrepreneurs. When did you have that aha moment? And then what does that mean to you as far as being a real estate entrepreneur as opposed to just being a salesperson?
I honestly feel like my entire life I've been an entrepreneur in my head and in my heart and never had the right opportunity to plug it into something. So for me, it seems very natural. Always reading, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki from a young age and not knowing what to put that into in a normal job. I felt like I was at, a normal job and I'm like, this just, how do I make this transition? And so I actually did, before real estate, I did direct sales using social media marketing and found I was able to just really dive in and use all these tools that I had just been studying for years with no place to put it all. And then you get into real estate, and that is just like a dream come true for someone who has an entrepreneurial mindset because it seems like the opportunities are endless. But if you're not born that way, like my husband is not an entrepreneur mindset. He would want nothing to do with anything in this industry. But I do think it can be taught and learned. It's just a matter of realizing that no one is coming to tell you what to do. There's no boss who's coming in to check on your work and see what you did this week and clock in and out. It's got to be something that's self-driven from inside of you. So finding out what your motivations are, and then if you are the type that needs a boss, then it is okay. I have to make myself a schedule. I have to follow this, or else I won't get any work done. You've got to really know yourself.
Well,
But
and that's why at West USA we have a fantastic coaching program,
Yeah.
and we got fantastic teams because not everybody is self motivated, and
Right.
you have to be motivated, and if you don't fall into that category, be part of something that is going to hold you accountable, and not only hold you accountable, but give you the blueprint
Yeah.
of of what you need to be held accountable for.
right, give you some steps to get going, and absolutely.
All right, last one. Energy. Boy,
No, you didn't write this one, right? This
think
isn't in your book
yeah,
at all, right?
Yeah, I don't. I think you, Cheryl. I think you need to work on energy a little bit more. I love.
I'm trying to tone it down for y'all here.
No,
It's a small room.
I love this because I'm sure you realize it, but this right here is probably the majority of the reason to your success because energy, excitement, positivity rubs off on people.
infectious.
People can read it. People can hear it through the phone, and it makes them excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, you said excess instead of success,
you-
but I
you
think
corrected
excess
it.
worked well for me as well because everything is an
I haven't
excess.
even had a cocktail yet, and I'm slurring words
No, I
this
think
morning.
it was an accurate description though.
Yeah, what do they call those? Proverbial pops out there by
Yeah,
mistake.
but it was accurate. Yes, everything in excess. I'm just super grateful to even have like what an opportunity we have. Everything. If you just look at life, how lucky and blessed we are with everything in front of us. And I try to. I'm a realist. Obviously, I see what's in the news. I see these things happening. I see what's out there. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone who wants to sell a home, and always somebody who wants to buy a home. And so my job is to just find those people, not the Debbie Downers and the worriers and those people. I'm out here for the ones who are like, let's go. They got things to do. They got places to be, and those are my people. So
How do you recover from the times when you wake up and you're not energy that day?
Coffee.
no, honestly, if you get up and you just start doing like a minute of really fast-paced calisthenics, and this sounds crazy, but like you just start doing like crazy jumping jacks or running and pace, I'm like, as much as my body can move, that will put a surge of energy inside of you. Like honestly, I drove back from California last night, got in really late last night. We did Knott's Berry Farm yesterday. Got up this morning and I was like, man, it was a struggle to get out of bed this morning. I jumped up, started just moving my body a ton, drank some water, and I was like, all right, let's go. We got to do this. These waves and opportunities of things coming into our lives are not always going to be there. So to me, it's like I'll slow down when I'm dead, or there's slow times in the industry where you could take a break and pause. There's a season for everything, right? Yeah. So to me, it's like I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity. I don't drink alcohol because that I feel like the hangovers, the slowing down, the foggy judgment. Like to me, I just don't have time for it right now. I'm just too busy with work.
Well, you'd mentioned Knott's Berry Farm. Did you go to Mrs. Knott's for the chicken, the fried chicken?
We did not. We
Is
did
it
not.
great? It's-
13-year-olds don't care about Mrs. Knott's fried chicken. They want to go on every single roller coaster.
52-year-olds do.
I know we're out of time, but one last question though to you for the agents that are out there that aren't as energetic and as you are, but they've got to wake up and do the one thing every single day. They've got to wake up and find their next client, whether it's a buyer or seller.
Absolutely.
What's the best solution that you could provide to them, best answer you could provide to them to help motivate them just for today? And if they take that same thing and maybe do it every day, it'll help them more than just for today. But what would you tell them for just today?
You don't have to be like me. That's the other thing. I don't want people comparing how they run their business. You can be successful anyway. You could be the shy, quiet agent. You could be the introvert, and you can still be successful. That's why I love this industry. But I think getting up in gratitude is huge. Being thankful that we're even alive and here to do all this, and just the opportunities that we have in front of us. That's one thing. But just jumping in like the other step, do the work. Just okay, I don't have a client. I'm going to go out and make some business. I'm going to go tour some model homes. I'm going to find some vacant West USA homes. Ask if I can go tour those and film those. Like just constantly get into action because action creates more action, right?
Yeah, I like this. Not everybody exudes energy and excitement, and it's not the deal break. You don't have to be energetic and
Right.
excited to be successful in this business, but you do have to be positive, and you do
Yes.
have to have a level of gratitude. You know, we talked about earlier about the lawsuit. There's a lot of concern. If you love negativity, oh, go on those real estate forums on Facebook. It is a cesspool.
Yeah.
You got to stay
Cesspool.
off those. Stay away from those, because when you're positive and you're grateful, you will find the solutions to the problems. Like we said earlier, with big changes comes opportunity. And I remember when my partner Ryan and I, we started talking about the lawsuit and what might be happening with co-brokes and things like that. The first words out of his mouth, he goes, "Man, I'm excited." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And then we just started talking about the solutions and how we're going to do this and how it's going to benefit us. So,
Yeah.
all right, my last question for you: if you could go back in time, I know you got your license in 2020, but you have definitely learned some lessons, and you can go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice to starting your business over again. What would it be?
Oh gosh, I'd probably start a CRM when I started because I still don't have one.
Oh, you never should have said that to Mike. And ever, ever, ever don't mention CRM.
That's the best piece of advice. If I could
That
go
is,
back in time,
honestly.
that's what I would do. All right,
Listen up,
Cheryl.
agents. Well, real quick, Mikey, I just want to. We have a lot of agents on here, and they're going to be listening to what Cheryl said, and she touched on it. You can't replicate her success, but the 5 points that she made, that you've made on here, that's it. I mean, those are the 5 things that if you're struggling in real estate or you're not really sure which way to turn or which way to look, just start with those 5.
Yeah.
The energy and the mindset, the positivity that you're going to put out. You don't have to be super excited. I'm not the most energetic guy, but when you get me on the phone, I'm going to be positive the entire time we're talking. And think about that conversation. Do you want someone who's like, yeah, the market's hard right now, this and this, or do you want, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to find the best opportunity we can for you? It's a very easy shift in the way that you're focusing and being intentional. I love all of this. I can't wait to chop this up and get it out for everybody.
Yeah, when Nick walks into my office and he's lacking that excitement, I just turn on the hokey pokey
dances.
Yeah.
and
Dances.
man,
Hey, whatever it takes.
You know, Mike, this is exactly what we've been talking about for the last 13 years. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it really is. Cheryl, congratulations. I just want to tell you, we think you're doing a phenomenal job. And
And I did
keep
want to highlight,
inspiring.
we do have Cheryl's email up there, but there's not 2 A's in realtor, so that would be
So Mike's super consistency is always mistyping the guest
because
email
I've got
address.
so much energy and excitement when I put together these slides. I get carried away. Cheryl, thank you so much. Incredible information. We leave everybody with the quote of the day: strive to find things to be thankful for, and just look for the good in who you are. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Go out and sell a home.